What's going on? This is Bryce from Coast MMA. We got my bad betting picks of the week here coming in for UFC 225. This looks like the best card in a long time, possibly the best card of the year. We'll see. It's absolutely stacked, and it's nice to see them putting forward a nice summer for us again after some really just horrible fight nights. As always, remember that we are not gambling experts. These are bad picks. It's just for fun. Follow along with our L's and W's. We'll be here along the way. And if you did want to sign up for a betting website, I did put my Bodog referral link in the description. We both get some free bonus money if you sign up, so why not, hey? Okay, so UFC 225 has a lot of hot picks, like I was saying. I'm going to keep it simple, though, and just pick a few of my favorites for this weekend. And I want to start out with the Blaydes and Alistair Overeem fight. Now, looking at this, you would most likely assume that Alistair Overeem is the favorite. However, we have him coming in at a plus 140 underdog. Now, I do find this matchup interesting because Blaydes does come from a wrestling background. Alistair, obviously, a world-renowned kickboxer. Now, Blaydes has had not quite as long of a career in the UFC. Alistair Overeem, a little bit older here with an extensive career in the UFC and kickboxing worldwide. Now, the only reason I could think of Blaydes being the favorite is they do believe the wrestling is going to come into play, combined with his striking, and he should be able to take Alistair down and outstrike him once he's a little bit tired. However, do have faith in my boy Alistair Overeem. He came off a tough loss, got knocked into the next universe by Ngannou, but let's forget that loss, and we'll see something new coming out of him this week. So he's going to be one of my underdog picks for sure. If you wanted to flip it up and possibly pick Blaydes for the W, I would probably pick him to win by decision. I don't think he's going to stop Alistair Overeem unless he's got a new glass chin thanks to that Ngannou concussion that he got. But if it was going to be Blaydes, I do think he's going to win by decision. The next fight I wanted to talk a little bit about was RDA versus Colby Covington. Now, of course, this fight is dripping in controversy due to what Colby has said about the Brazilian people, among a million other things that he said. It should be quite an interesting bout. The press conferences might be more interesting than the actual fight itself. However, this is going to be a good one. And we do have Colby Covington getting a lot of hype behind him. You can see it in the odds. Now, we have RDA, former champion, longtime UFC vet, and an absolute monster coming in at -130. Colby Covington even. Now, I would expect RDA to have more of a favorite behind his numbers. However, they are very evenly matched. So it looks like Colby Covington has the hype behind him that he's wanted. The talk is working. Now, I personally think that RDA is going to win it, and I still think that at a -130, he is going to be the better value champion. I don't think that win over Maia was quite enough for me to be sold on Colby. Quite a good wrestler. His striking is quite good. He seems to be well-rounded, but I still think he's fresh-faced, and RDA is going to be the absolute toughest challenge that he has faced to date. So I do take RDA to win it straight up, and I do take him to win by KO or TKO. And of course, that brings us to our main event. We've got Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero. This is a really good fight. Everyone is super excited for it. Robert Whittaker coming off a long layoff after getting sick. Yoel Romero on an absolute hot streak, as we've seen. So this is a really good matchup for the rematch. Now, of course, Yoel Romero did lose the last time these two faced each other. However, that was a different Yoel, in my opinion. He was still coming up a little bit. It looks like his cardio might not have been there. And he did take the loss against Whittaker. Whittaker fought a hard fight, even with his leg injured early in the fight due to Yoel stomping on his ACL, it looked like. I do think the fight's going to go a little differently this time. Now, if you look at the odds, we got Robert Whittaker coming in at -240. And Yoel Romero at plus 190 at the current odds. Now, I do think that's a great value pick for Yoel Romero, simply because Robert Whittaker has been off for so long. Now, you can say what you want, but ring rust has proven to be a thing, and Yoel Romero could not be hotter right now. He's been on a smooth streak, and I do believe Yoel is going to take it. I think he's going to catch Robert with one of his hard punches and will manage his gas tank a little better this time, as we've seen in his previous fights. Whittaker is an absolute monster as well. His fight IQ is through the roof, but I do think that time off is going to be the factor here. I do see Yoel winning this fight. My opinion might change once I see the weigh-ins or the media day on Thursday. However, I do believe that he's going to take it. That ring rust is going to be the final factor. So I got Yoel Romero to win by TKO or KO.